Good evening and thanks for joining us. A firefighter tasked with cleaning up in the wake of the Geelong oil refinery fire was exposed to potentially deadly chemicals that may have left them with life-altering injuries. The crew member suffered burns to the face and chest, but the United Firefighters Union says it took 8 days to get treatment, and by then the emergency worker was already in a life-threatening condition. Abby Dinham has this exclusive report.
Almost 1 month ago, an inferno erupted at Geelong's Viva refinery. It took 12 hours to bring the blaze under control, and fire crews remained on site for a week to monitor the plant. On April 19, a firefighter was sent into the MOGAS unit to take readings of residual volatile substances.
The firefighter had to enter into an area where there was a burst pipe, if you like.
The United Firefighters Union says the member was instructed to wear a hazmat suit not fit for purpose, saying it was standard and breathable, allowing liquid to seep through. The union says FRV didn't provide the suit. Instead, it was issued by Viva.
And this is an organisation that's been convicted by WorkSafe for not having proper personal protective equipment. In fact, the very equipment that we're talking about.
Water runoff contaminated with hydrofluoric acid penetrated the suit, a substance so toxic even the smallest amount can be fatal.
And in the hazmat response sector, hydrofluoric acid is known as a chemical that is the nastiest kid on the block.
That night, the firefighter developed a cough. They woke with a headache and irritated eyes the next morning. Red patches continued to develop. The FRV doctor sent them to Epworth Hospital. After tests, they were released without treatment. Their personal optometrist diagnosed corneal burns. And as symptoms continued to worsen, their own GP referred them to hospital. But the union says Barwon Health also did not recognise the urgency.
I was quite shocked by how they had deteriorated over the preceding days, to the point that when I arrived at the hospital, they were in some significant distress.
He says by this stage, the firefighter had vision loss, light sensitivity, spreading burns on the face and chest, and breathing difficulty. Colleagues eventually took the firefighter to the Alfred Hospital.
It's quite confronting because the firefighter was continuing to deteriorate, appeared to be hallucinating, difficulty breathing.
Upon arrival, they were finally treated by a burns doctor, 8 days after the initial exposure. The firefighter is now recovering at home, but that recovery has been slow. It's unclear at this stage if the burns to their eyes will result in permanent vision loss and how well their skin will heal. The union says this should never have happened, and it's accusing Fire Rescue Victoria of failing in its duty of care.
The process that we thought were there to protect us weren't enacted.
This firefighter was left to their own device.
The firefighter remains too traumatised to speak publicly. In a statement, Viva Energy said, as the lead response agency on site during the fire, Fire Rescue Victoria was responsible for all decisions and directions. FRV said the FRV firefighter was wearing international standard fit-for-purpose PPE, including FRV breathing apparatus, gloves and boots. Abby Dinham, 10 News.
And Abby Dinham joins me live now. Abby, will the firefighter be able to return to work?
Jen, the goal is to try and get that firefighter back to work, but it really depends on how those scars heal over coming weeks. There's also the residual trauma that's come from this experience. I've been told not only did they feel unsupported during and after the incident, but felt their concerns were really ignored as their symptoms became worse. While the FRV has maintained its occupational health and safety systems are robust and that they were utilised by firefighters during the incident, the union denies that, alleging this firefighter was let down in terms of their safety on site and in the days following, saying that's exposed major gaps in the follow-up care of injured firefighters. Now, the union has made a complaint to WorkSafe and it has begun its inquiries.